On Ganesh Chaturdashi, President Donald Trump has decided to usher in a new era in India-US bilateral commercial relations. Let's see how does it pan out eventually. For the moment, from today 9:30 a.m. onwards, Indian time, 50% tariffs have been kicked in, 25% as retaliatory tariffs, which are already in place, and 25% more as secondary tariff to punish India for importing Russian oil. Both these tariffs have been described by Indian official spokesman as unjustified and unfair. At the same time, if we go into granular study, the total Indian exports to United States are $86.7 billion last year, and out of these, $60.2 billion are going to be subject now to 50% tariff. 3.6% would be subject to 25% tariff, and around $30 billion would be subject to no tariff. These are pharmaceuticals, electronics, etc. Now, to reply to your question, the $60 billion on which 50% tariffs have been imposed, this is according to the last statistics. This year's statistics are obviously different. Include a large swath of three areas that you mentioned: textiles, gem and jewellery, and other items. Now, these three items, textile, gem and jewellery, and seafood, let's put it more precisely, are going to take a serious hit. They are labor-intensive items, particularly textiles, which is India's largest industrial employer sector. Seafood, again, a lot of fishermen and processors depend on it. Gem and jewellery, there's a huge number of people who are employed in polishing diamonds and making studded jewellery, etc. So their livelihood are going to be affected. To lesser extent, leather and footwear exports would also be impacted. Government of India has said that they are considering amelioratory measures to help these affected parties, and the Prime Minister has repeatedly called for greater Atmanirbharta, self-reliance, to tidy over this particular onslaught of additional tariffs. Talks are underway to resolve the issue between India and United States, but the two sides seem to be pretty sticky about what do they want other side to do. India, on its part, has declared that farmers, fishermen, and small and medium enterprises would not be allowed to be affected by any of the concessions being sought by the United States side. In the meanwhile, Commerce Ministry is also trying to diversify our exports to new markets, and reportedly a 25,000 crore scheme to help the affected sectors and facilitate their entry into new markets is being talked about. We also have taken in free trade negotiations with a number of new countries. The one with UK has been signed. Australia is nearly done. And European Union, GCC and Oman are also seriously underway. So let's hope that this would create new opportunities for Indian exporters. At the moment, nothing else is being contemplated on bilateral plane, and business as usual seemed to be the norm with United States, which last year was our largest market. To put it in different perspective, Indian exports to the United States contribute around 2% to our GDP, and this additional tariffs being imposed is, according to some economists, likely to shave nearly 0.4% to our GDP growth this year. In a full financial year, if these duties continue, then the damage could be even bigger. So let's see how does it go. It is a serious setback, but not exactly a disaster for.
We are now, the South Asian nations are now dumping shrimp on our country. The shrimp is heavily contaminated. We just stopped a shipment that was contaminated with cesium-157, which is radioactive. They're farming these shrimps, and they use bactericides and antibiotics and all kinds of chemicals, and the shrimp are so contaminated that the European nations won't take them, so they're dumping them all here, and they're putting out of business. We have the most sustainable, highly regulated fishery in the world. What our fishermen do is a good thing. And all the trawlers in the Gulf and Alaska are being shut down because we're getting shrimp dumped here. So we have now increased FDA inspections of shrimp to make sure that Americans are not buying and eating contaminated shrimp and putting our shrimpers out of business. I'll talk just very briefly.